My name is Agape. I'm 33 years old. My parents had me when they were really young, 17, 18, in high school. And they got married quickly thereafter, had my little sister, and when I was about 4, they got divorced. My mom remarried a few years later, and then they had my brother, and that's the family that I grew up with. When I was little, I remember struggling with not understanding my story and not really understanding like what was happening. I just knew that there was some anger and resentment, but I didn't really know what was going on. And I remember after my mom got remarried, just making this prayer, seeing my new family, my new parents, argue. I just remember praying like, Lord, not another divorce. There was just already so much pain there from the first one that I didn't think I could bear a second one. And when I was in high school, I ended up having a conversion and coming to know Christ and spent a lot of time in prayer with the Eucharist. But I still had a lot of pain in my heart and a lot of questions that were unanswered. And in my 20s, my world kind of came tumbling down when my parents announced that they were going to get divorced, and that was really hard. I continued with my life. I entered religious life and followed Jesus and was able to kind of travel the world and do really beautiful things, but that whole time just really struggling emotionally. And after about 6 years, I finally realized that I needed some more help, that I needed to ask for more help. And I knew that Chinocolo wasn't just for addicts, that anyone could come, anyone who needed healing. And I saw that I needed that healing. And so I came. I remember at the beginning just being really sad and having a hard time talking to anyone. I didn't want to open up. I was super closed. And slowly over time, I began to build trust with the girls who were here. I began to open up. And I think the biggest moment of healing, one of the biggest moments of healing that I had in my walk was I was encouraged to be vulnerable in front of everyone. This is about after 6 months after arriving. But I remember that moment as being very healing and pivotal, just to be able to embrace myself. And I think that's one of the bigger things that I've been able to just receive from community. Another huge blessing that I've received in my walk has been the healing with my family. After about 6 months in community, I invited my dad to come to a retreat. And so he came, and I was able to just spend hours with him talking. And it was just him and I. We would sit, we would walk, and I would just ask him questions about my life, about my story. I just had so many doubts of being wanted growing up, and I felt like to just hear from him how wanted I was and how loved I was just restored something in me. And I felt like after that point I was able to begin like a new relationship with him. I have to say that a lot of the healing, profound healing, came through the hours I spent in front of the Blessed Sacrament in the Eucharist. It's really those moments of trial and suffering and tears that I spent before him that he really healed that pain inside of me. I feel like where I failed or where I came short naturally in wanting to love and wanting to heal myself, he showed me that I can't, and that he was going to be the one to heal me. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me when I look back on my walk, I've been here for 2.5 years now, I realized sharing with someone the other day that like I used to detest myself. I hated myself and I hated my story. And I've been able to really reconcile with my story and embrace it and embrace myself. As Mother Elvira has taught us. I remember when I first came, kind of my cry to the Lord was, I want to live, but I want to be able to live this life beautifully. And I feel like community has taught me that, to be authentically myself, to to be able to really be free and find that interior freedom. And I'm grateful to Mother Elvira, to the community, to all the women who have walked with me and formed me in that.